Hello, guys. Welcome to the We Racing podcast, the first ever episode. How exciting!
Yeah, hello. Hello. Yeah, we had some technical
So,
issues, but obviously it's a first episode, so it's obviously has to
always going to
happen.
happen.
But I'm happy we are
Finally
here.
here. We're finally here, ready to record. My name's Jason. I do social media for We Racing, and this is Matt. Matt, do you want to do a little introduction on yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Matt. I'm the co-founder of eRacing. I'm also, let's say, team strategist, and I'm sitting on the pit wall with my headphones, talking to the drivers all the time. So yeah, you can find me in the pit lane on the
Perfect.
races.
I mean, Matt, obviously you've been running the team for a little while now, and we've decided now's the perfect time to do a podcast. Season's about to end. We've just had a really good season team-wise and individually. So it'd be good to have a chat, catch up, and let all the people listening, all the fans know what it is that we're getting up to. Anybody who doesn't know what we do, hopefully find out, and yeah, go from there. Um, First things first, I have to talk about, before we talk about anything else, the F1. Just before we talk about absolutely anything else, I have to talk
Yeah,
about the F1. We have to
absolutely.
talk about the championship. Oscar, Lando, somewhat Max. But it looks like it's going to come down to the wire this year, don't you think?
Yeah, it will be. Looks like it will be Lando and Oscar, but as it was in 2021, I'm actually cheering for Max a bit because he's a bit of underdog. He still has a chance, and he still can come back. So I'm really counting that the race in Vegas this weekend will go, to his liking. Hopefully, he will win it, and the fight will still go on to the next race.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was worried about earlier on in the season, that the McLarens are just going to run away with it and it was going to become a boring championship. But obviously having that Max in there as that kind of underdog, is he going to, isn't he going to? I was really hoping he was, but I think now it's probably time to down the tools and say, do you know what, it's probably going to be one of the McLarens now. But again, he's pushing them every step of the way, which is good. But papaya rules, eh? That's something else as well, isn't it?
Well, they say papaya rules, but I don't think they actually know what it means. So they say papaya rules, but it could be anything. It could be something like. Technically, they say a couple of races ago that Lando was out of papaya rules, so Oscar had the priority with everything that they're doing, and the next race they changed it. So I'm not really sure if it's even existing or it's only marketing slogan that they tell everyone that the drivers on equal matters.
Yeah, I think they have to. So they can't say one driver's further ahead than the other. I think I was thinking about it today, and I think the fact that Lando has been the longer serving driver, I think Zach Brown put a lot of sort of backing into Lando. I think he sponsors Lando to some extent as well. So I think out of the two, if he was going to have a preference, if I was him, it would be Lando as well. But obviously, that doesn't seem to go down too well with everybody else.
Yeah, publicly he said that if we'll have a choose on the last race to which driver to give the championship, if Max will still be in the game, he would prefer to none of them take the championship. I don't believe that.
I
We
don't
know
believe it.
Zach Brown, and we know how happy he is when the team is winning the races, or even when they won the championship last year. So I don't believe what he's saying, and in the end of the day, he will have to sacrifice one of the drivers, which is a shame because the fight is fantastic. I personally counting that Oscar will get snatch this championship because we didn't had Australian champion for such a long time. We had Daniel Ricciardo that was almost close. We had Mark Webber about 10 years ago. So I think it's time for Oscar to win this
No,
time.
for sure, for sure. I think it'd be good to have an Australian champions race, and I personally just think he's the more deserving driver. I know at the end of the season, people will say, "Well, look at the points." If Lando obviously does take it, but I just think there've been a few decisions across the season that haven't gone in Oscar's favour. That if they had gone in Oscar's favour, maybe we'd be having a bit of a different situation. Obviously, there was the crash in Canada, and then he crashed out a couple of weeks ago as well, didn't he? So lots of things not going his way. But yeah, if I was him, I'd be one frustrated driver, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you can say that, but also Lando Norris didn't have much luck as well in Netherlands. His engine blew up a couple of laps into the race. So I think when it comes to luck from both of the drivers, they were equal when it comes to that. But now definitely Lando is winning with the headspace because Oscar lost himself. I don't know where is he from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you can clearly see a big switch in Lando's kind of mentality from just after the summer break, really, where you can see that he's just
Yeah.
performing at a top level. And I heard someone say the other day that maybe it's not that Oscar's fallen off. It's just that he's hit his ceiling potentially, and Lando's just improving and improving and improving. Now, I don't know how much I agree with that, but I can see that point that there's definitely been a change in Lando. And there's definitely a reason why he's now performing the way he's performing that he wasn't doing in the first half of the season. But whatever that is, fair play to him for turning it around. Let's just see, obviously, if he can see it out. But like I say, touch wood. My money's on Oscar.
Yeah, mine as well. And or Ambassador driver Daniela, she said exactly the same on her
She did.
F4 presentation. Yeah, which the sound through the room about 100 something people when she said that she's cheering for Oscar was something else.
Something else for sure, for sure. I can't talk about F1. Obviously, I'm a Ferrari boy. Can't talk about F1 without touching on the poor, the poor double DNF in Brazil. I honestly can't believe it. Like, what is going on?
Um, I know what's going on. It's a problem with, in my opinion, obviously, it's a problem with leadership that they have at the moment. John Aitken said quite ridiculous thing a couple of days ago. It was last week actually. That it's time for drivers to, sorry, I will paraphrase, to shut up and drive. Basically, this is what he said. When a couple of hours later, Lewis and Charles, they both said something very similar. They said that whatever will happen, they will not give up and they will be pushing. And if the Ferrari, main director is saying those things publicly, I understand it's Lewis's first season, but it's not that he's not delivering. It's the team that is not delivering. We had exactly the same scenario with Sebastian Vettel. We had exactly the same scenario with Fernando Alonso. I think the leadership in the team has to change. The main mechanics, they have to change, or at least change the approach, how they work with the drivers. Because Juan Pablo Montoya said a couple of days ago, that the quicker Ferrari will start listening to Hamilton, the better for the team. And I absolutely agree with the statement.
Yeah, I mean, he's a seven-time world champion, eight in some people's eyes. But he knows what he's talking about. I can understand it from a team perspective. One driver coming into a team, and again, it's such a passionate team. It's the whole of Italy that are sort of putting their chances on Ferrari every week, every year for the championship. So for him to come in and want to just start changing something that seems quite an integral place to be, I can see the frustration. But at the same time, he's a seven-time world champion, and Ferrari haven't been doing very well. So I would think they could take all the help that they could get. You could tell from earlier on in the season, from his engineer being him having issues with his engineer, and the pit stop issues and the strategy issues. People laugh at Ferrari for their strategy all the time. So it's definitely
Yeah.
not a Lewis thing. I don't think so anyway. I don't think it's an ability thing. I don't think the car's fantastic. I don't think, like I say, and I think it's higher because obviously they've changed team principle multiple times. I think it goes deeper than just changing
Yeah.
your team principle. It works higher up than that. And it's a hard thing to change when it's that far high up the chain. So we'll see. I'm hoping, my thing is, I've kind of given up hopes this year. I'm hoping 2026, new regs, new car. I'm hoping we'll have a bit better luck by the time all that comes in.
Well, anything can happen. We've seen in 2009 that even the team that wasn't existing before can just come in and win the championship out of nowhere because the regulation is changing, and they're changing massively next year. Because you have engine change, you have new team that is coming, Cadillac. You have the new car, new aerodynamics are changing to the active ones. That will be interesting as well. So I'm really hoping that they will finally find the grip, although the rumors are saying that they are behind about 3 months behind Mercedes, behind Red Bull engines. So, well, hopefully they will be able to sort it out before the beginning of the next season, but it doesn't look
It,
okay.
it doesn't look good. Yeah, I've heard Mercedes as the front runner,
Yeah.
engine-wise for next year, and it's Mercedes, McLaren, and who else is in the Mercedes? I think there's a few others using. Is it Alpine potentially
Alpine,
that's using
and Williams,
Mercedes
I
as well?
think.
Williams, of course, yeah.
No, I'm
So
correct.
there's
I'm not
there's going to be
sure.
like 4 or 5 cars on the grid with the Mercedes engine, and obviously the
Yeah.
rest of it's just going to be potluck. But yeah, like I say, hopefully better luck for Ferrari for the rest of the season. I'm sure I'm sure Hamilton will be performing a lot better. Obviously, we've got Vegas this weekend.
Yeah.
Good race at Vegas. Hopefully, going to perform a bit better. Ferrari have got a good record at Vegas, to be honest.
I don't really remember, to be fair, but I think it's simply because the race is for some people late and for some people early at night. And even I myself crucified myself last year when I was saying that Vegas shouldn't be happening because it's jump for the money. But the last race actually delivered, so I'm really looking forward that the Vegas will bring some great action this weekend.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm sure it will, as it usually tends to do. Um, Talking about great racing, just wanted to segue onto a race that we were at the weekend or the last weekend for Phil's individual championship, and we also did
Yeah,
the 6 hour endurance, the team
exactly.
endurances. So let's go chronologically back. Phil's was the most recent one.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Yeah, well, it could be better, to be fair, but well, rental karting is not forgiving the luck, unfortunately. So sometimes you have to accept what machinery are you driving, and in this case, Phil didn't had much luck. Marcin went really well because he was helping Phil as well. Doing his own race, and Harley was racing in the same race. Finally, in this race, Phil finished 14th, but he kept his third position in the whole championship. So we have second vice champion, first time ever at we racing. So we're really happy about it. Bronze medal. Hopefully we'll have more next season.
No, I was there as well, and it was a disappointing night for Phil overall, because we know Phil obviously always wants to win, and he had a bit of bad luck with the driving and the racing standards during the race. But overall,
Yeah.
unreal season, and he should be proud of himself.
Yeah, the funny thing is, he called himself the master of second places because I think he had two or even four, I think, second places this season, but I think he had 4 or 5 podiums as well. So he was definitely delivering it, giving 100% on, if even 110 on every single race. I've seen it was not this month, the month before, his fantastic performance when he starting from pole position. Harley was second. We locked the front row. When he was basically pushed out on the wet tarmac, and he was dead last on the first lap. And on the last lap, he was able to catch the leader of the race, which the leader of this race still pushed him out, which wasn't fair. So I'm really glad that actually Phil had some fun, and I've seen the champions that they were doing those races, so I think Phil is definitely material for the champion.
No, 100%. Like I say, disappointing result on the night, but tops off a really good season overall. And then going to the weekend, the
Yeah.
weekend before that, we had the 6 hour endurance. How'd that go?
Oh yeah, that was great. Maybe we weren't dominating, but we were definitely with both teams. We were on the top in the first team. We racing one. We had Marcin and Phil, as usual, and in the second one we had Harley and Clay. We actually at this race we had a bit of luck when it comes to the go-karts. So we racing one. They delivered second place where they were most of the race at second. At some first half, we're also the leading the race because the team that we are fighting with got a couple of unfortunate penalties. But and the second team, Harley was trying to start an airline.
I believe I can fly.
On one of the corners, and when he landed, he ripped off the exhaust. But finally, they finished fourth. They were even they got even third place on the podium, but because the staff of the track made some mistakes, they finally finished fourth. So definitely the best result for the whole team in a season when the first team finished second and the second team finished fourth. So that was really good results, really good points as well.
Yeah, good. And I mean, in regards to these results that we're getting, obviously some people, especially the new fans and the people that might have been following us for a little while, might not know what do these good results mean for We Racing overall?
Well, obviously the fame, the glory, the some trophies. We're getting some voters as well, but definitely the most important for the team is the good results because people are starting talking about us. People see that we can deliver good results, and I remember when we were beginning of the season, we were about 10th place. Now, by the end of the season, we had people approaching us and asking for advices, asking for some stuff, that operational stuff as well, tactic stuff, how they can improve. We are always open to share the knowledge and skills. We're not shy of that, but we definitely would like to have more podiums, more wins next season. We had one this season, which we are really proud of, and hopefully we will have more and more and more next seasons.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we did the 24-hour endurance at Teesside as well this year as one of the big races that we did. And again, talking about the glory and obviously putting our name and face out there. I mean, aside from the racing, We Racing as a brand, what is it that it's here to do? What sort of statement is it here to make?
Well, you can ask the drivers. We basically, some of the people will say we are a bunch of the friends that decided to do something, maybe not professional because we are not professionals, but something that will elevate the level of racing for the drivers and give the space for the drivers that want to join the racing, but not necessarily have the maybe funds, maybe don't necessarily have the skills, maybe they just shy to try. And we want to give them the space, especially if you are a good driver. We want to make sure that your talent will not get wasted.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, obviously being in the pit lane and stuff like that, people speaking about us, asking if they can come and drive for We Racing. So it's evident that there's a good culture being built around the team and the guys, which is something that you always want around a race team, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah, you can say, like, we had people coming to cheer for us. We don't really see it for other teams. We have, family, friends, or even we have some fans already, funnily enough. So they're coming to see how we're doing, give some high fives, do some pictures with us. That's really nice. So we really, really appreciate that they are there. Even likes, comments on Facebook or other social media platforms. They mean the world to us. So, creating a good culture in the team is very important to make sure that because, if everyone is feeling comfortable with sharing their opinions and sharing their ideas, we can grow together, to bring and better results.
And what have we got in store for We Racing for 2026?
Well, we definitely want to do more than we've done this season. We already agreed with the team that we'll be pushing more long endurances. So we'll be starting like at 6, 8, 10, 12 hours, 24 hours. On the radar, there's also 30-hour race. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, there is a lot to do next season. We want to do more and more and more. And that's why we also would need more and more people to help us trackside and the drivers.
Fantastic. And talking about sort of help and obviously drivers as well, just another segue to our ambassador driver, Daniella Sutton. We, as you mentioned earlier, went to her F4 launch. It's official. We can say it now. It's not a secret anymore. Her F4 launch, she will be driving in the 2026 season FIA, which is really exciting, isn't it? I mean, just to have someone that's obviously part of our team kind of be there, it's on its own is a really big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, funnily enough, exactly a year ago, me and Eamon went to meet with Daniela at Donington Park on one of his test day, when she was still racing in Fiestas. And I remember talking with Dan, her dad, that the dream is to go to Formula 4 next season. But, the budget, the skills, we also need to find the people, because that's very important in a racing world. And, you need to know who to approach to get the seat. And seeing how Daniela was growing this year, almost getting podiums on her races, she was the best female in her category. That means something, and if the team like Chris Dittman Racing is opening the door in front of her when they won the races this year at Formula 4, that definitely means something to her, to us as well. And we're really excited to see her racing in ITV.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've got to give her props. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of people haven't met Daniela yet, or people who haven't sort of seen the name, I'm sure they will see it very shortly. But I've got to give the props. Obviously, the event was the first time I met Daniela, and just for a 16, 17-year-old, she's so mature. She knows what she wants, her head's screwed on, even in terms of the way she speaks in front of a crowd, her confidence, everything about her just gives me signs that she is, everything outside of the car, it gives me signs that she's got what it takes to be a top level athlete, let alone a racing driver. You know, obviously her skills on the track speak for themselves, but it's the rest of it that goes with it that's also really, really important. So yeah, no, big up to her, and obviously the family, say dad, stepmom as well, who really helped out, because the event was didn't know what I was to expect, but it definitely wasn't what I was expecting. It exceeded my expectations for sure.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, but mine as well. But obviously, we were expecting a lot of people. I wasn't expecting that many. We had fantastic hosts, the ITV commentator. We had also F1 commentator, F1 Kids actually. Easy. Sorry, I don't remember the same name, but it was Easy.
I think it's Browning, I believe.
Browning. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she was fantastic. But Daniella, there were his sponsors as well. People who wanted to join her at this fantastic event. It was in fantastic place in Shark Stadium in Manchester as well. So the venue was amazing. You know, we had some food, we had some drinks, we had some chats with people that they were excited for Daniella as well. So that was really nice. That was really nice seeing that many people are coming for Daniella for the one event for launching her F4 season next year.
And for those who don't know, what does Daniella being an ambassador driver and also stepping into FIF4 mean for us at We Racing as a team?
Yeah, obviously we are helping her, you know, with promoting stuff, spreading the word about Daniella, and making sure, you know, if, for example, Dan or her mum couldn't go, for example, for test days, when I went, I raised my hand and said, I can go. That's not a problem. So we are trying to help each other with promotion. You know, we are partnering to make sure that both of the sides are happy with the collaboration. And also, I'm from Warrington, Daniella is from Warrington, so it was very easy, no-brainer for us.
No, for sure. I do just want to go back onto We Racing again slightly, just before we come to an end.
Sure.
A little bit of a controversial one. Three Sisters Racing. I don't know if I'm going to get into trouble for having this conversation. Three Sisters track. Great track. Obviously, a lot of good races there. Obviously, we've had a bit of controversy this season, especially Phil, around the driving standards and the quality of driving. I was just wondering, from your perspective, do you think that there could be more to be done in regards to that, or do you think racing's racing and what we're seeing at the moment is what we're entitled to get?
Well, at the end of the day, racing is racing, and we have to accept the result that stewards or marshals are providing. Obviously, there is always something better to do. There's always something better could be done when it comes to marshalling, stewarding, etc. But well, I won't be moaning about what happened before. But I would like to see better standards from the drivers, and you know, a bit of the self-reflection about the driving standards and how they approach to fighting with other drivers.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like I say, the stewards do try their best. I don't think there's anything more so that they could do in terms of effort. Maybe more so execution, especially in terms of, we had obviously a bit of a hiccup with the podium the other day and things like that. And some things can't be helped. But I do think that there are potentially, a bit better execution, just to prevent things. So, you know, we saw how upset Phil was when you know what happened, and just to try and prevent them as best as possible. But no, generally speaking, we have a great time there. I mean, for today, that was pretty much everything. I mean, we've spoke about the F1, we spoke about Daniella. Obviously, guys who are listening, make sure you follow our socials. I'm sure Matt will pop them on here somewhere.
Exactly.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube,
even LinkedIn.
Everything. LinkedIn, everything. We're everywhere, everything. So drop us a follow. Make sure you leave a comment on our most recent video, say hi, and just follow the journey. Watch us grow. Watch us turn into the best karting team in the world, let alone the country.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you guys, and hopefully see you soon.
See ya.